Urgent Chiefs Kingdom fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Chiefs Kingdom news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Former Chiefs star sends 5-word message about franchise-altering move. The Kansas City Chiefs have made many changes to their roster over the years, including their 3 Super Bowl winning campaigns. One of the most significant was trading then 3-time All-Pro wide receiver Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins WR Tyreek Hill sends 5-word message about Chiefs trade Tyreek Hill. Grateful for Chiefs trade. On the anniversary of the trade, Hill, now a 5-time All-Pro, who also added 2 more Pro Bowls to his resume, bringing his total to 8, reflected. Fondly on the franchise-altering move, changed my life, Hill posted on X on March 23rd. Thank you. Hill leads the league in receiving yards, is 3rd in receptions, and 6th in receiving touchdowns since joining the Dolphins in 2022. He was also voted the #1 player in the league by his peers entering the 2024 season. Hill finished the season with 959 yards and 6 TDs on 81 receptions. The receptions and yards were his fewest since 2019. The touchdowns were his fewest since his rookie season, and he has appeared in 2 playoff games with Miami, going 0-2. Hill raised eyebrows as the Dolphins' season came to an end, saying he wanted to be traded out of Miami. He later walked back those comments and has even commended the Dolphins' general manager Chris Greer's approach to the offseason. Chiefs built back-to-back Super Bowls off Tyreek Hill. Trade Hill's success in a new environment proves his status as an elite and unique player in the NFL, regardless of position. However, the Chiefs did well to turn a key piece from their initial title run with Patrick Mahomes into multiple contributors to multiple appearances. The Chiefs traded Hill to the Dolphins for a package of 1st and 2nd round picks in 2022, 4th rounders in 2022 and 2023, and a 6th round selection in 2023. KC traded all of them. In return, the Chiefs acquired through various means cornerback Trent McDuffie and receivers Kadarius Toney and Skyway Moore. McDuffie is the only one who has become a consistent contributor. However, the Chiefs also allowed themselves financial flexibility to address multiple potential issues elsewhere on the roster. Hill was on a 3-year, $54 million contract with the Chiefs. He has since signed a 4-year, $120 million pact and re-upped with a 3-year, $90 million extension 2 years later. The Chiefs have had to address All-Pro defensive lineman Chris Jones, among other items, in the time since Hill's trade. Chiefs proved themselves right. SB Nation's James Data questioned the Chiefs for not providing better options at receiver for Mahomes, but overall praised their decision to rebuild with a focus on the defense. The Chiefs decided to sacrifice their offensive firepower to build their defense, and to this end, it definitely paid off. Kansas City has quietly built one of the better units in the NFL, and I think it makes a lot of sense, Data wrote in January 2024. The Chiefs saw the writing on the wall. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Chiefs Kingdom news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Should Amari Cooper be a real option for Chiefs? The Kansas City Chiefs struggled in the wide receiver room last year. They have resigned a key receiver and have a star in the making, but they still have a chance to improve with a key signing. The Kansas City Chiefs will now look to turn the page after their massive Super Bowl LIX loss. The Chiefs are now in off-season mode, and the first thing up will be free agency, which started this week. The Chiefs have a lot of key free agents on both sides of the ball. They will need to look at what players help the team next season and what players they need to bring in next season to improve. The Chiefs had a lot of holes to fill on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and that was exactly what the Chiefs have done. If they were looking to stay put in free agency, they would have likely been looking at the same result from last season. The Chiefs did exactly what they needed to do to kick off free agency. When many thought the Chiefs were going to have a quiet start to free agency, they did the complete opposite. The Chiefs were active and got some of the players they needed. 2. But there is one move they can make to improve their wide receiver room. The Chiefs should consider adding veteran wide receiver Amari Cooper. Cooper still has a lot to give to any given team that is willing to give him a chance in signing him in free agency. Cooper will pair well with receiver Xavier Worthy of the opposite side. Cooper does not have the speed he had early in his career, but is still one of the best route runners in the National Football League. Cooper would be a good receiver to add to support quarterback Patrick Mahomes as well. He can give Mahomes a great target in the short passing game. Cooper is the type that can make things happen right off the snap by getting open, and every now and then can still stretch the field. Cooper did not find his footing after getting traded to the Buffalo Bills in the middle of the season last year, but after a full offseason with the Chiefs, he and Mahomes would have good chemistry together heading into the 2025 season, a chance that the Chiefs need to take. Cooper could come in on a team-friendly deal as well. The Chiefs do not have to break the bank to get a good, talented receiver this offseason. Kansas City Chiefs signed Super Bowl winner and Houston Texans. Safety as free agents, Andy Reid will be looking at the free agency market right now, ahead of the 2025 NFL Draft, just in case there are any hidden gems sitting in plain view to add to his Super Bowl caliber team. The Kansas City Chiefs will be aiming to add the finishing touches to their squad this offseason in the hopes of reaching yet another Super Bowl in 2025. The AFC West team had made it to the last 3 Super Bowls in a row, with the quest for an unprecedented three-peat stopped abruptly by a dominant Philadelphia Eagles team who won the 2024 Lombardi Trophy with a 40-22 scoreline. Head coach Andy Reid was adamant that changes would be made during the offseason as the Chiefs prepare for another battle to the top in 2025 with Patrick Mahomes at the helm. After the blowout loss to the Eagles, the young quarterback stated that the defeat was the worst feeling, and blame sat on his end for the 3 turnovers he produced during the game. However, the Chiefs have been down in luck before their recent successful run is something that is new to their history in the sport, given that they had only lifted 1 Lombardi before 2020. Now Reid's team have 3 rings to their name and are already making big moves in the free agency market to bolster their squad. So far, defensive tackle Jerry Tillery has joined from the Minnesota Vikings to boost the line, ex-Las Vegas Raiders. Starting QB Gardner Minshew has been signed as backup for Mahomes, and former Los Angeles Chargers cornerback Christian Fulton has also joined the Chiefs' kingdom this month. Free agency has been a great asset to the Chiefs this month, with Jalen Moore and Elijah Mitchell also joining up, and it has been proven in the past that it's not always the NFL draft that you should look to for Super Bowl stars. Some of the NFL's greatest athletes have seen their success in the sport come years after they were originally drafted by a team, and sometimes this success can be with a totally different franchise. Here, Mirror Sport looks back on some of the Chiefs' greatest ever free agency signings, who ended up bringing success to Kansas City in the past as Reid and co look to capitalize on it again this year. Damian Williams, one of the most recent successful free agency signings to come to memory for a Chiefs fan, would be running back Damian Williams, who the Miami Dolphins released at the end of the 2017 season. The athlete signed for the AFC West team in 2018, but his biggest moment didn't come until Super Bowl Live, when he was the standout player in a last-minute win against the San Francisco 49ers. In the championship title game, Williams rushed 17 times for 104 yards, including a 38-yard touchdown, and caught 4 passes for 29 yards and a touchdown. However, it was the timings of these touchdowns that etched him into Chiefs folklore after he scored a receiving touchdown with 244 left in the game to give his team the lead. Then on the Chiefs' next possession, with 112 left on the clock, Williams rushed into the end zone, extending Kansas City's lead to 10 points and ultimately winning them their second-ever Lombardi and their first since 1970. Despite these heroics in his first-ever Super Bowl game, the former free agent opted out of another season with the Chiefs in 2020 and was eventually released in March 2021. The now 32-year-old has had stints at the Chicago Bears, Atlanta Falcons, and Las Vegas Raiders since, and was most recently cut from the Arizona Cardinals practice squad in 2023. Tyrann Mathieu, safety. Tyrann Mathieu was another recent free agent that the Chiefs signed to bolster their struggling defense after their 2018 season ended with an AFC Championship game defeat to the New England Patriots. Mathieu had spent time at both the Arizona Cardinals and Houston Texans in his first 6 seasons in the NFL, but his most important years were spent in Missouri under Steve Spagnuolo's direction. In his 3 years with the Chiefs, Mathieu racked up a whopping 213 tackles and 3 sacks from strong safety, winning 1 Super Bowl and being named in the All-Pro team and Pro Bowl team twice. His influence on the team helped the defense go from the 24th best ranked in 2018 to a top 10 formation across the 3 years he spent in Missouri. He is widely regarded as one of the best investments the AFC West franchise has made in recent history. Now, Mathieu plays his football for the New Orleans Saints, and his 2024 season included 62 total tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble. Recovery which is still incredible numbers for the 32-year-old to be putting up in his veteran years. Priest Holmes joined the Chiefs as a Super Bowl winner after signing with the Baltimore Ravens as an undrafted free agent in 1997 and winning a ring in Super Bowl XXXX fee. In 2001, Holmes headed to Kansas City on a 5-year, $9,011,700 amateur contract and exceeded the expectations of every person in the city. In his first season, the running back led the NFL in rushing yards with 555 and became the first undrafted player to achieve this feat. He then produced one of the best 3-year stretches in NFL history with 4,590 yards and 56 touchdowns, which led him to become the second highest rusher in Chiefs history as well. He was named the NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 2002, thanks to his career-high yardage of 1,615 and 21 touchdown season. And although he had to retire in 2007 after aggravating a neck injury that ruled him out of the season before his legacy, still stands strong in Chiefs history to this very day. Brian Waters was another undrafted free agent who was snapped up by another team before the Chiefs, but his time in Missouri produced the finest work in his career. The offensive guard was originally signed by the Dallas Cowboys, but they cut him after training camp, which allowed Kansas City to swoop in. After signing him in the 2000 offseason, the AFC West team sent Waters out to play with Berlin Thunder in NFL Europe, with the hopes of turning the young athlete into a center. He then went on to spend 11 glittering years with the Chiefs, forming one of the most dominant offensive lines that the franchise has ever seen. Waters was named first-team All-Pro twice and was selected for 5 Pro Bowls. The now 48-year-old also won the Walter Payton Award, which honors a player's contribution on the field as well as off, before he eventually left Kansas City in 2011. After his exit, Waters has had stints back at the Cowboys and at the New England Patriots before announcing his retirement in September 2014. And now, Chiefs fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Chiefs. He'll be back any moment with more Chiefs Kingdom news.